Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
All right, everyone. So let's give you some great advice. And it comes from someone who's smart and she's experienced and she's in the world of making people be a 10, if that's possible. We want to really talk to Roberta Hladek, who is co-founder of Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness, and it's EMC Square. And you can actually get, if you want to do this, you can go on the AIM program, aimprogram.com, and you'll see a lot about what Roberta fills her days and nights with. But today we're going to do something very interesting. We're going to talk about stress and how we can relieve stress. And I know everybody will be very happy about this show. So, Roberta, are you in any stress?
Seems like we're always stressed, aren't we? I try not to be, though. I work on it. But there's some days, that I can be stressed when things are busy. We're, trying to catch up. Maybe we've taken a weekend off and we come back to work and our desks are full of papers, wants, and wishes. So the way I deal with stress is exercise and meditation. Those are my two things that I like to do a lot. Different exercises, and some people might say, but I can't exercise. Maybe they have physical issues or things that make it hard for them to do any type of exercise. But even if you just get up and walk around the living room of your home, even if you walk from the bedroom to the kitchen, just that little bit will help. Exercise is so important for all of us. It releases endorphins and it changes your mood.
Oh, so that's really why you're saying that. It's not. So if you are doing exercise, it actually causes physical changes.
It does. It'll change. It releases endorphins, and endorphins change the way you feel about whatever's going on. Your mood changes. When I lived in California, I ran the Los Angeles Marathon 2 years in a row. And when we were training for it, our coach used to tell us that some days, when you got up to go run your miles, we had a list of what we had to do every day, and it would kind of increase over a period of time until we hit the marathon. So there were some days you wake up and you really don't feel like going out and running. Like today it's raining here, which is highly unusual, but it is. And it's not a day that you would want to just jump out of bed and go run because it's raining, it's a little cooler. He would tell us that if you start running and after 5 minutes you aren't into it, stop. But he said that just that 5 minutes will release enough of endorphins in you that will make your mood change and you will be into it. Not wild?
Yes,
just
it is
5
wild.
minutes.
5 minutes, huh? Give me 5 minutes more, as they say. Remember that song?
Yes, exactly.
But the thing that the way I guess I try to relieve serious stress. I mean, I guess we're all stressed from if we eat too much or we something, that's simple. But if something happens in your life that's really distressful, right?
Yes.
What I try to do is look at the bigger picture of life and say, okay, this affects me, and yes, it's very important, but if I sit back and say, well, look at this situation, look at the immigrants, look at what's happening around the world where they don't even some people don't have a bed to sleep in. Now that's real stress. So then it relieves me of making too much of what my situation is.
That's great. Absolutely. And that does change your attitude. And, like if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed some mornings, you wake up and you're not in a great mood, maybe you had a bad dream or whatever too. That is another way of looking at the bigger picture. And, you told me something on one of the calls, and I've never forgotten it. And you always say, look up. And so there are days when I'm not feeling that great, and I'll just look up, and it changes your attitude pretty quickly, too.
Look at the sky. It's funny you should say that, because I'm actually looking at our magazine, which is coming up, our May issue, and I was just brought not the new one, but just the pages that go in there. I was just reproofing them and all. It's at the printer now. It's too late, but I was just doing it. And I sometimes do some quoting, and I put them in there. A lot of the fillers are other people, but I did it, and I was just reading. It says, I have no idea where I got this from. It says, if you are watching the days and nights fly by without purpose, you are not watching the stars twinkling.
Exactly. That's a great one. I like that one a lot. And I think of that, that's stuck in my head. So some days when my other half will wake up and not feeling so good, I go outside and just look up.
That's right.
Anita says to look up.
Well, we don't spend enough time looking up. We spend too much time, maybe not spending down, but looking down, but it is, the up is so amazing, isn't it? That the clouds and even in the rain, what you're getting now, there's so much. If you see the raindrops and what they do on the leaves and the bugs and the birds, and it's a beautiful world that we live in, isn't it?
And I think it is true. It is beautiful, and we have to stop for a second. And I think we live in an amazing country. The United States is amazing on a lot of levels. There's so many things that we're able to do where other countries aren't able to do, such as our freedom of speech and to talk about anything and everything that's going on. And one thing that I think we lack in is time off. And a lot of countries take a lot of time off. This country, we work a lot. And we work long days. We travel a long way to work. And I think that's really important, to take time to stop for just, a day maybe. Take a weekend off. Look up, and do something outside. Get away from the phone. Get away from the TV. I think technology is awesome, but it's also a detriment. And I think the cell phone is probably one of the worst things that we've ever done.
Yeah. Because
it's caused accidents and lots of other things. But it's got us all tied to our phones. And I know this has probably happened to you, but I'll go into a restaurant and I'll see a couple sit down to have dinner, and they both pull out their phones.
Right.
And I'm like, why are you going out for dinner if you're both going to sit and look at your phone? That's a practice that me and my other half have done. We just put our phones away, and we try to minimize our time on the phones over the weekends and the time that we have together, because we don't have a lot of time together. He's working different shifts than I do, and I'm working, all these different things that go on. So I think that's one of the things that stresses us.
Absolutely. In fact, I see the same thing with people doing, and then the kids also. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I've had a nice thing happen. We always complain about the phones and the kids on it, but as you know, I have 12-year-old triplet grandchildren in Miami, and I don't get to see them very often. Maybe if I'm lucky once a month, or maybe a little bit more. And then when I go there, they're all busy. Everyone does their own thing, and they're on their phones. But that just recently now, they didn't have phones before. They just now got iPhones. And they've learned about texting. So one of them texts me all the time. And I am getting such a fantastic relationship with her. Isn't that funny?
Oh, that's adorable. Now you got to FaceTime with them.
I do. I haven't done that at all. But the texting is really special. So you see, yes, most of the time, though, I don't even, there are days that I leave my phone, and for me, my phone's very important, but I leave it at home, and I don't even think about it. I don't stop at traffic lights to look at my phone. I don't do any of those things now. I just leave it at home and figure, okay, if there's nothing critical that happens, I'll get it anyway, and I'll just wait for 4 or 6 hours. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, and doesn't it make you feel weird? There's times when I've gone just from the office to the store to pick up something that we need here in the office, and I'll forget my phone, and I feel really odd without it.
I know that, but it's good for us. And people will say, oh, you forgot your phone. I said, you know what? I'm having a very nice day. No pressure.
No stress. You don't have to return any phone calls. You don't have to pick them up.
And I don't know what's going on. And I don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So it is good. Well, let's just keep going with the stress, because we know that stress can cause illness. And I know with what you do, and how you help people to be the very best they can be. Can you tell when someone's under a lot of stress from just working with them?
Not normally. Not really. No, because it doesn't always, the way we test, it comes up with certain frequencies. I may, by the questions that they're asking me, when they're, like when I do what we call a special recheck, which is someone who's been on the program for a long time, and they have an issue that they're still dealing with, that sometimes will give me a clue that they're under a lot of stress, or I can look at that along with, if I know what their occupation is, that will kind of lead me in a direction to know that they're under stress. But not normally. It doesn't show up so much for me. But what we've done with the AIM program is we put homeopathic remedies are on our program too to help with stress and whatever else is going on in our lives. And we also have positive affirmations that are on the program that send energy to us that we are able to pick and choose if we need them at the time that we need them. And a lot of people say, well, you say pick and choose. How do I know what I need? I don't have a list of everything that's on there. But it's kind of like our higher self. It's another part of our brain that we're not focused on 24/7. We are in a way, but we're not consciously doing that. And that is what's picking and choosing those frequencies for us. So we have, like sometimes we might be stressed about being accepted. Maybe that's an issue, like the kids in school, bullying and all these other things that happen. Well, we have a positive affirmation that helps with self-acceptance. We have replaced grief with humility, ego and understanding. We have a stamina and vitality, which helps regenerate our nervous system. We have ones like, say, like if you're scared or fearful of something, replace fear with courage. Different ones like that to help us and empower us. And that's what we really need is empowerment. And stress can derail us sometimes. So if we can try and manage our stress and think of our, use our positive affirmations, that always helps too. And you can even write things down. I'm a firm believer. I don't use my phone for everything. I have a day runner, and I put little notes in it and positive things that I want to think about on different days.
That's good.
Yeah, and I think of, I write goal cards, and I think of, what is it that I want to achieve today? Is there something I want to do this month? What goal am I trying to attain? And whatever it happens to be, and I write them down. And those, to me, de-stress me, because when I start feeling angst about something, I can read that and go, oh, okay, I'm right on track, so let's just chill out.
Right.
We're doing what we're supposed to do. Everything's moving. It's not going as fast as I would like it to be. I'm very impatient, but, you can do it. So
yeah, that's a good thing to do, and I try that also. I always think if I will write everything that I want to do. There's a couple of things. I read this somewhere where one list is priority and the other is maybe I will, but give yourself the break that if you don't, it's okay.
Exactly.
And sometimes we know what a priority. I mean, if we need eggs or milk, we know that's a priority. and even without it, there are days where I had to go to the grocery store. I have all this stuff to do, and then I don't get there, and I said, oh, I can eat something else, so I don't have to eat that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, just cut yourself some slack. And I always if there's a to-do list and I feel overwhelmed, I just delete things that can be switched off till tomorrow and just do what is really pertinent and, like you said, priority for today. What has to get done today?
Right.
And the rest of it, I can do it tomorrow or I can do it later or whatever.
Yeah.
And your day frees up and then you go, wow, I can get a couple more of those things done.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's funny. I don't know if you feel this way, but as one ages, we seem to have more doctor appointments. Yeah. And I mean, I don't, it's like, I don't know why, because I don't feel sick, but it's like they want you to go here and then check this and check that. And I think you can go from appointment to appointment. And I really don't like that. I think I want to stop this. I think that, I don't know how to do this quite yet, but It's too many things. It's so personal. Why? You need to think of other things. Stop thinking of yourself all the time, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I know my mom was saying that growing older, it's all the maintenance, she says, that she has to do to her body that drives her crazy.
Right.
So she said she doesn't like that either, and she doesn't like the early appointments. She likes them later. She said, I spent all those years getting up super early in the morning. I'm not doing it anymore.
Right. 8 o'clock to be at the doctor's. Forget it, right?
Yeah, she said she won't do anything till after 10. So I was like,
good for her. Does she live near you, by the way? I forget. You probably told me.
She's in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she lives in, actually, it's Surprise.
It's called Surprise?
Yes. Surprise, Arizona.
Oh, is it a surprise?
It is a surprise. It's a cute little place. It's growing like crazy, but yeah, that's where she lives. And she's pretty amazing. My mom just turned 90. And she treads water every day for an hour in the swimming pool.
Really?
She walks
She treads water?
Yes, she does. That's her exercise. She does it every day when it's warm.
So you're saying she doesn't hold on to anything. She's just out there in the middle treading water.
Yep, in the pool in her complex.
Really?
Yep. She's got all of her girlfriends doing it. They have a pool ladies luncheon group.
Oh, my heavens, how nice. And they tread water. I mean, that's the first time I have ever heard that. See,
some of them, she said, use those noodles. And then she said, but she doesn't. She doesn't do that.
And she's in good shape, it sounds like.
She is. She is in really good shape.
And so that's really nice for you that you don't, have the responsibility. At least, you, in a sense, you don't. You have to be there with her all the time, and she's doing okay.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I can never get a hold of her, so that's always a good thing.
Does she have a cell phone?
Yes, she does.
Right.
But she doesn't have an iPhone. I'm trying to get her to get an iPhone because I said it would be so much easier, and she said, nope, don't want it. So she has an old flip phone that she loves that.
She's smart. I think it's better because if she gets the iPhone, that she'll be so busy with so many things that may not make her as happy.
I have to agree because I know a lot of my colleagues and friends are getting off Facebook for that reason.
Right.
They said it's very stressful to look at Facebook and you see everybody's doing all these amazing things and you're not.
Oh,
and
that's
I try to explain to them that that's just one day that they're out there, going boating or something in the middle of the week. And, so you have to kind of look at the big picture again at that. But a lot of people find Facebook very depressing.
Well, what I find it's just a lot of things that you can go on. You can spend an hour just going on, and then when you get finished, what do you really have? What have you really accomplished?
I know.
Now I'll tell you,
it can take forever.
And I'll tell you where I can get lost though, on YouTube, because there's such exciting programs on YouTube, science and health and stuff, and of course they go sometimes for 20 minutes.
Sure.
But I find that has been such an education. If you go to the right YouTubes, I don't mean generically, but I mean, generally.
Sure.
But you can pick and choose, and they're very clever because when you wanted to see something and you saw it and you're finished, oh no, another thing pops up, which is, I like to read about that too.
Yeah, it's a great form of entertainment.
Yes.
And it's also very informative for your health and well-being. You can look up anything now, and you can see how to fix it, or you can see what to do about it, or suggestions, all sorts of things.
That's really true. Yeah. Let's see, somebody used YouTube the other day to do something that was broken, and they got on there, and I forgot what they told me, and they were able to get it fixed by just watching.
Yeah. My other half does that all the time when he's working on his car. He'll say, I've never fixed this before, and he'll go online and they have a video and shows him exactly what to do and how long it'll take, the whole thing. So, yeah, it's really a great tool when you use it properly. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. And so but that's it. I don't have enough
It's kind of like me and Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree. I understand that. No, I do understand that. But let's just get back to why I thought would be a great conversation, and we've been doing it, of course, about being in stress. And I forget where the word stress came from. There was a word, someone once told me that, how it even started. Do you remember anything about the word and where it started from? But anyway, the thing is that if you go, and you can do this with blood pressure, if you don't have a stressful day, it's amazing how your blood pressure is lower. But if you're under stress and you've been upset and worried, it makes your blood pressure go higher.
True.
So, I mean, that's got to say something to people. It's got to show that if you continue to do that, people are not going to be as healthy. Now, how do you relieve it? That's what everyone's saying. Okay, I know that's true. What do I do? Well, I think just like your mother, while she's in the water, she's not in any stress other than if she's too tired already. She's done it too long. But if she's moving around in the water, and I bet she doesn't have any stress at that time.
No, and a lot of times she'll have her friends around or other people come to the pool, and they're chit-chatting and catching up, and she's very social. So I think that's a good stress reliever, too.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I guess I'm getting back to the phones and technology and what have you, but we're getting very singular. We're no longer out meeting people like we used to be. Kids aren't outside as much, and now they're trying to turn that around and get the kids outside to play outside and do things that kids should be doing rather than sitting on their phones, because now we're becoming an overweight society, and part of that is stress and sitting on phones. We're not up and doing things like we used to do. So,
That's very true.
To relieve our blood pressure and kind of lower it, diet and exercise are huge. Stress is another one. So if we can lower our stress, and like I said, even if it's walking from the parking lot into the grocery store, try and park a couple spaces out further from the front door instead of right at the first spot. You know, if you can do that, just that little bit will add up, and then gradually make it a couple more spots and make it a game, you know, and you'll be amazed. And if you look up when you get out of your car and you see that beautiful sky above you,
right,
makes it all worthwhile.
And I have a columnist, and I know you read Boomer Times, and and her name is Linda Sauget, and she writes short columns, and it's all about it's called Yes. You know, if you just say yes to things and think about it. So she wrote a column recently called Choices. And it was an amazing column because we do have choice of every situation. We have a choice of how to handle it. And that, I think, and as we end this show, I think that is a real stress reliever. Look at the choices that you have on a particular thing. And if you choose not to be upset, if you choose that something else will come out of this, but it's your choice, or you can do it negatively. You can do it the other way. And we do really have that choice no matter what we do, whether we get in our car, whether we speed, whether we buy new glasses, or whatever we do. It's a choice, and it's the outcome of that choice which can cause the stress.
And you can choose either to have a great day or not a good day. It's your choice. And that's when, when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, I always think of that, because a couple of weeks ago I did, and I thought, okay, I can either choose to be in a bad mood all day because of something happened in my dream which wasn't even real, or I can turn that around and have a great day.
Right. Well,
it's my choice.
Yeah. And your entire work that you and Stephen have done in this whole program, and where the aimprogram.com, I just think that there's so much to that teaches you how not to allow stress ruin your life. And in the book, that you've written and everything, It really is. I just wish everyone could get on the AIM program. I just wish everybody would at least go to the website. Just go to the website and see what it says there and see if any of this makes a difference to you. Because we keep talking about how you can live a better life, a longer life, a funnier life, a happy life. But you may need some help. And the AIM program is really going to be able to help you. It's not something you have to talk to other people about. You can just get online and see what it says. And you will start doing what Stephen, when it first started, what Stephen and Roberta and some of the other founders did. And I just, I can't tell people how well, we're leaving now. So the stress is I have to shut you off.
Well, have a great, unstressful day.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take Charlie, and I'm going to let him. It's funny, he's sleeping here so quietly, and I know he must have stress because I didn't take him to the bathroom before I came here, but he doesn't know the difference. But he's so good. He is so good.
He's a good boy.
Thank you so much, Roberta. And your article will be appearing in our May issue.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you.
Look for it.
Oh, we sure will.
All right, honey. Talk to you again.
Right.
All right.
You too. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.